people are always reached in the same way, which is through the telling, the preaching, the sharing of the gospel, right? So one way or another, people have to hear the gospel and respond to it. The means through which people hear the gospel can vary a lot. And it does seem that over time that shifts back and forth. So you go back to the Great Awakening and you would have thousands of unbelievers coming out to hear sermons. That's almost unthinkable today. Or even back in the days of Billy Graham filling whole stadiums and people would go and hear him preach. That's an odd thing. There's that whole culture of revival and revivalism, and it was used very well and very poorly at different times in different ways. But there was an expectation then that people would go out and preach and they would hear preaching. I think that shifted now. People aren't interested in preaching in that same way. I mean, that was before television, that was before radio, that was before a lot of the entertainment which we got in our homes. So one of the big shifts over the last century or so, and even less really, is that people used to be entertained outside their homes. Today they tend to be entertained within their homes. So people used to go out to community centers, go out to churches, these community hubs, and that's where the entertainment would be. If that was preaching, then so be it. You go out and hear preaching or debating or other things. Today we've got all the entertainment, I mean, more than we could possibly ever take advantage of pouring into our homes. In fact, we're doing what we can to hold back some of it, right? There's just so much of it. So that's where I think a big shift has happened. So now people are in their homes, and that's where things like podcasting and putting sermons online and all of these things has been so helpful. People can access that on their own. And at the end of the day, though, I think the reality is people are still primarily converted through, I think, conversation. I mean, you can hear sermons and hear the gospel in sermons, and that's effective, obviously, but it still seems the majority of people are brought to faith through personal conversation, possibly following up on a sermon, possibly, hey, you were in church with me today, now let's talk about what we heard or something, but still that hard work of us speaking truth to other people. That's how the Lord seems to work the greatest. That's how he seems to do his greatest work today, and probably always has.